Bride is very unreasonable, or Ida? My friend is getting married this summer. I have just been advised that we are required to be at her venue for 7 a.m. for hair and makeup. She is not having a ceremony this day and the reception is in the evening. I have 2 small children and their preschool does not open until 7 a.m. and I am an hour away. I would be an hour late. I have asked the bride what the time slot is for hair and makeup and if I can be a little late so I can get my kids to school and be one of the last people to go. There is about 8 people doing hair and makeup, but she refuses to tell me the time slot. I have asked her to simply ask the hair and makeup company if it would be an issue and she also refuses to do this. I'm just told you're to be there at 7 so the time slot doesn't matter, you were sent to save the date a year ago. You are the only one causing me stress and making your problems my problems and there is no excuse here. I have brought up the point that if I am just sitting there for hours, does this need to be such a big deal? She basically told me if I'm not there for 7 a.m. I don't need to be in her wedding. I have already purchased the dress. I just feel this is extremely unreasonable. You spend so much money to be in someone's wedding, there is no appreciation for this, and this is how they deem it acceptable to treat you with demands and ultimatums? Update: as the bride was saying to me, I'm stressing her out, making my problems her problems and refusing to ask the hair and makeup people. I took it upon myself to call the company. They were very nice and told me it would be no problem at all to take me for 9 a.m. Each bridesmaid will have an hour with hair, then an hour with makeup. I informed the bride and I was told that I'm sneaky and selfish for contacting her vendor, and I went behind her back. So she kicked me out of her wedding and told me she never wants to speak to me again. I don't understand why I cannot contact a vendor and inquire about services I am paying for. Would it have also been an issue to ask about hair extensions or a certain updo or makeup look? I think this is so extreme and unnecessary for it to get to this. Story 2. She cut me from bridesmaid and then got mad because I couldn't go. Story time: this was several years ago, now. But I was diagnosed with epilepsy, just out of nowhere. Had a car accident from a seizure, seized in public, absent seizures, so no convulsions, but still embarrassing, heavily medicated, had a surgery a year and a half ago to reverse it, the works. So without even asking me, she said she decided to relieve me of the job because she didn't want to stress me out. The way she worded it, she may as well have said she was gonna take me out back behind the shed because she didn't want to see me suffer anymore. I did let her know that I was caught between a rock and a hot place because my boyfriend's brother was getting married the same weekend she was. I told her I was leaning toward going to hers, but nothing solidified. Fast forward a year. My now fiancé of 3 years, been together 6 years, proposed to me in Paris with his brother among other family there. So with that, there was the obligation to support my soon-to-be brother-in-law and his husband. I told Bridezilla that I was going to theirs instead of hers. Children's fits have nothing on the hell she dished out to me. If you truly supported me and groom's name, you'd make both work. Girl, yours was in Wyoming. Theirs was in D.C. So she got all pissed off. Belittling me, chewing me, playing stupid manipulative games. The gay wedding was probably way more fun than being out in the pollen and ticks anyway. I wish I told her that it was shitty for her to cut me like she did, and then get pissed off because I couldn't go. I've had several friends that can't come to my wedding in 2 months. But my God, I could never do the shit to them that she did to me. I joke about it with our mutual friends, Farmer, because they were super pissed at her for that. I can't help but think that if she were an employer, I'd sue her ass in a heartbeat for excluding me because of a disability. Just a terrible thing to do to a person and to act like it's justified. Story 3. Ida for threatening to not walk down the aisle if my fiancé's twin brother attends the wedding. I, 30F, am supposed about to get married to my fiancé, 27M, but there is a big problem concerning our wedding, and that's his twin brother. His brother is a drug addict and got in a lot of troubles in the past cause of it. I obviously don't want a drug addict invited at my wedding, but my fiancé insists not only to invite him, but to make him his groomsman too. He says that he went to rehab and he's now clean, but I seriously doubt that. I know people like him, they never change. We kept arguing about it for a couple of days, till yesterday when he invited his brother and his mom over to dinner to convince me to have a change of heart and let him attend the wedding. I was furious that he would invite that drug addict and their nutcase of a mom to my house without consulting me first. I told them that I'm not gonna make dinner for a dopehead and to please leave my house. His brother then started sobbing, saying that I'm unfair for not letting him support his brother on his big day just because of some stupid mistakes, and my future mill started berating me about how heartless I am for doing this to their sons and being so hung up on something that's in the past, but I told them to drop the act. These stupid mistakes literally landed him in jail, and I'm not gonna allow a former offender at my wedding under any circumstances, and I also told my future mill to stay in lane, as this is not her wedding and she's also a big reason for why we've got into this situation, as she kept enabling his addiction for a long time. They started shouting at me, but I eventually managed to make them leave my house. My fiancé was furious at me and told me he can't believe how badly I treated his family. I told him that's not my fault, that his family is fond of a bunch of nutcases, which turned into another argument between us, with me saying that if I see his twin brother between the guests at the wedding, then I'm simply not gonna walk down the aisle. My fiancé slept on the couch that night and he's still treating me coldly even today, but I'm still not willing to reconsider my decision. If anything, I'm now seriously considering to hire a security guard to keep that drug addict, and possibly their crazy mom too, away from my wedding. Ida, or I'm justified in my decision? Yes, you the asshole. Story 3. She stole someone else's order and blamed me for ruining her wedding. Let me tell you about Brittany and Misty. Brittany was a lovely new mom who came to me a week in advance to order balloons for her daughter's first birthday. She chose Lodge Rosé Galt No. 1 balloons in bouquets of pink, lavender and white. Brittany was thoughtful, excited and competent. Even with a little one at home, she thought ahead and ordered what she wanted for her special day. She was set to pick these balloons up early afternoon on a Saturday. On the same Saturday as Brittany's order was set to pick up, I received a call from Misty. Misty needed 24 pearl white latex balloons for a wedding, that day as soon as possible. No problem, I told her when they would be ready, took her payment and asked for a name for the order. She said Misty, went so far as to spell the name out for me, and I went on with my day trying to make everyone happy. A few hours after I received Misty's call, one of my new employees handed me the phone saying they didn't know how to handle the issue. It was a woman from the wedding complaining she got the wrong balloons. I was flabbergasted and didn't understand. The wedding balloons were still there. What do you mean you picked up the wedding balloons? I said, they are still here. She proceeded to tell me she sent her sister to pick up the balloons. I said no, I have been here, no one has come to pick up Misty's order. She said her sister picked up 2 bouquets with big Rosé Galt No. 1 balloons because that's what we gave her, and we failed because we did not properly verify the order and she needs her latex balloons now and we have ruined her wedding day. Okay, how on earth did I hand Mom Brittany's order out to the wrong person? I handed the order out myself. She said she was picking up balloons for Brittany. We only had one order for Brittany that day. I handed over the Georges Rosé Galt No. 1 pink, lavender and white bouquets. She had to wait because she was an hour early, but we got them done quickly and handed them over. The catch: apparently the bride's name was Brittany. No one told the person picking them up that the order had been placed under the name Misty, or what kind of balloons she would be picking up, and apparently the person picking them up doesn't think it odd to be picking up 2 bouquets containing 3-foot Rosé Galt No. 1 balloons might not be the correct order for a wedding. Now bride Brittany and I exchanged several phone calls. I could only repeat, over and over, that I needed competent Brittany's balloons back. That woman planned and cared and did all the right things, and she deserves the balloons she paid for. Bride Brittany informed me that she was an hour away. She had people in town now to pick up her balloons, but couldn't return the competent Brittany's balloons until Monday. Apparently the bride who can't plan properly is far more important than the mom who takes care of it all ahead of time. We are, according to her, ruining her wedding day over $20 worth of balloons. Clearly without thought to the mom whose balloons she stole, 2x more expensive, through sheer incompetence and lack of communication. I didn't care about bride Brittany's balloons. She can go to Bridezilla timeout for all I am concerned, but Mom Brittany? I would have made the 2-hour round trip to get her balloons back. As it turns out, I didn't have to make the 2-hour round trip. Mom Brittany had ordered early enough that I had already restocked. Competent Mom Brittany's bouquets were recreated and on time. Bridezilla still got her balloons at the end, but never returned the ones she stole. I hope I ruined her wedding day.